Hello, hello, my Star Atlas family. It's me, the MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back to talk to you about Star Atlas again. So, Star Atlas, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We'll see if they can get funding, but in the meantime, I thought I'd make a small video about something that might be coming out sooner or later, maybe in quarter four, maybe in first quarter of 2023, and that is Sage. I thought I should talk a little bit about Sage. Now, Sage, I don't know if a lot of people know, they announced Sage at the recent Solana Solana conference at Breakpoint in Lisbon, Portugal. Sage is the kind of next evolution of the Scream, which we all knew used to be called something else, and then it used to be called something else. Now, the guys over at Star Atlas have really, whoever it is that makes all of these acronyms, good job. Good on you, man. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Sage, because I think Sage, in my opinion, is the next thing, or the best thing at the moment, that will allow Star Atlas to go ahead and raise some further funds. I think that the UE5 gameplay, which is what we are watching right now, the UE5 gameplay is what we're watching now, and that will end up getting us a few more investors, but it's not enough to bring people in. They need something to play right now, and that item is Sage. So, without further ado, let's actually go and listen to Michael himself. This is a video, by the way, from the Solana conference that they were doing the content developer pipelines, and I generally like looking at it just to see what this game could end up being, right? Just in case we make it. It might be pretty cool. Might be pretty cool. I know you guys have watched this already. I just have it on the background. Let's go ahead and actually listen to Michael Wagner. And before we go ahead and listen to him, let's see what the Star Atlas themselves have come out and said. Sage, formerly known as Project Scream. It was announced this weekend that Project Scream has received an official name, Star Atlas Golden Era. Sage, for short. Sage will be a top-down, WebGL-based grand strategy game with some of the same game loops that will take place in later seasons of Star Atlas. And keep in mind, the later season in Star Atlas are talking is like the 5-year plan, where they have, you know, your fighters first, then you have racing, then you have bounty hunting, then you have kind of FPS gameplay, then you have game hunting, then you have escorting, then you have transporting, then you have mining, or all of this stuff, right? None of that at the moment is going to be in Sage. Sage is going to be a WebGL game, probably launching first of DevNet in Solana so people can experiment with it. And then we might get 1 or 2 mining loops. We'll see. So here we go. Blockchain architecture. Brett Etta gave a presentation on blockchain MMO architecture, including the mechanics and structure behind Sage. Let's go ahead and listen to Michael himself talk about Sage, shall we? And you can find this video yourself on YouTube.
But before we do that, I'm just going to start with some updates, some early access into our immersive web or browser-based client. Now, anyone that follows along with Star Atlas knows we love using acronyms in our project codenames.
We do.
This has been operating under project codename Scream, which is Ship Combat Resource Extraction and Missions. That was the original idea. But today, we are formally debuting the go-forward branding of Star Atlas Golden Era, or Sage, for our web client.
I really think this is the next thing to bring in a lot of people into Star Atlas.
Standpoint, this is your top-down isometric view, real-time strategy gameplay. It uses a very unique to Star Atlas cartographer aesthetic on the map, and most importantly, this is predominantly developed with on-chain mechanics for the game logic. We're delivering no less than 6 new on-chain programs for the functionality of Sage.
So what this means is that they're making blockchain programs that live on blockchain, right? So even if Automata goes away, the main developer goes away, these programs still live on chain. So someone else can come and build something on top of this program, right? If you can read this program, if you can interpret the data from it, then you're in a better position. You can kind of build something on this program. So it kind of lives as long as Solana itself, or maybe if another blockchain, if they do go there, it still lives and thrives on that blockchain and is open for a lot of people to use. And let's take a look on the left-hand side here, saying game architecture. It's a real-time strategy game based on your browser, which means if you log in and you do something for an hour and you log out, someone can come and do something to you within that hour, well, within the next couple of hours as you sleep, because it's real time, okay? Every second that we count here, every second will be the same in that Sage game, in that Sage gameplay. So some people like this, some people don't, because some people want to be able to save their progress and come back and pick up exactly where they left off. No, it's going to be 24/7, 365 days, okay, if we get a year out of it. It's going to be a top-down view, and we've seen some pictures of this already, and we're going to go ahead and look at it now. It's going to be an immersive WebGL 3D assets, and I think I can probably show you one thing. I can even try and load up the Fleet Viewer as well, so you can see what this look and feel is going to be like. So we have the Fleet Viewer. It's just loading now. Hopefully it does load. I'll keep looking here so that when it loads, it comes back. WebGL is the type of program they're using to try to display all of these graphics and the gameplay, all of these assets in there. It's going to have a cartographer theme, so it's going to have a little bit of like a grayish tinge, just like this one. Now the Fleet Viewer is loaded. Go ahead and connect my wallet so that you can see some of the ships in my wallet here. Okay, this is Phantom, and my wallet is public, so everyone can go ahead and see this. So this is only a Fleet Viewer. This is a small module of the actual Sage game, right? They're not going to be probably improving this Fleet Viewer more because that's all it needs right now. So right now I have 3 ships. You can see you can go and load some of them. The Calico Medtech, the Opal Jetjet, and the PSX-4. Go ahead and load the PSX-4 so you can have a look at it. All right? This is the PSX-4. Now later on you should be able to see this same asset in WebGL. Hey babe, I'm recording. Talk to you later. Yeah. Sorry, that was my girlfriend. So we should be able to see this same kind of design, the same aesthetic in the main Sage game, right? Have a look at and see the Opal Jetjet. That does look gorgeous. It does look good. Now people often confuse the Sage game with the UE5 gameplay. This is how we're going to be viewing the Sage game, and this is how we're going to be viewing the main game when it officially launches, the UE5 game. They are totally separate. Okay, let's go ahead and continue.
Like combat, movement around the map, inventory management, crafting systems, and many others are all.
Let's take a look at the right-hand side, gameplay mechanics of Sage. There's going to be territory expansion and control. We've already gotten lots of tidbits from the team saying, you know, these are the different tiers of structures. Everyone has to go and upgrade your structures, and you need resources to upgrade those structures. But you need to mine those resources. Then you need to repair those resources, and you need to go out. And you can only go out to get more resources if you upgrade the first structure. So you have a wider sphere of influence. So they're trying to make it fun. They're trying to make it engaging. There's going to be star-based construction, which is what I just talked about. Resource extraction and crafting. I know you guys know the Star Atlas Leaks YouTube channel has now disappeared. It's gone. It's not there anymore. So this was a channel that kind of got a few of the HTML code and was able to decipher kind of the resources in Scream or Sage now. And that channel is not there anymore. Luckily for us, we managed to save all of it. But it's subject to change. It's not out yet. A lot of things could happen until it actually comes out. And there's going to be a single instance global PvP. So like everyone is going to be on the same map, one instance. Okay, it could take 2 hours moving from A to B, and you know you're going to see the same people going back and forth.
All delivered on chain. From the gameplay perspective, this is all about territory expansion and control. You'll start at one of 3 central space stations based on the faction that you choose. You'll explore into the map, you'll collect resources, you'll use those resources to construct star bases and level those up, as well as defend against attacks from the other 2 factions and destroy star bases from those other opponents. So let's
we got some pictures.
Some of the UI here that we have up.
Let's look at it.
This is all still very early stage stuff, but what you see is a small battle going on at the Oni Central Space Station.
I'm going to stop him right there. So this, initially I thought was concept art, but I think someone came back to me and said, no, it's actually not concept art. This is what it looks like right now, okay? Because previously all we've gotten has been concept art, so I always assume It's concept art until they tell us it's real. Okay. So they managed to get it right to the actual. They managed to get it a good representation of the concept art into gameplay, and this is not something you see very often. So on the top left-hand side there, you can see you have your character, your fleet badge, your experience, your atlas. This guy has a lot of atlas, 120,000. The bottom left, you have like your cargo bay. You manage your ships. You have how much fuel you have, how much shield you have, what your HP is, how many resources you have, and what ship you have selected at the moment. On the right-hand side, you'll be able to see this interface here. This gives you an interface of what's in that galaxy. You can see the top one here. You might not be able to see it at the moment, sorry. But it's got your galaxy here. In this galaxy, how many fleets are here? You have some fleets as support, or Mick, and then you have some structures, as well as planets. And on the bottom right, you got some options. Like, Star Atlas options, your garage, the settings, your player profile, a menu, a help desk, a help me section. So it looks pretty good so far, right? Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen any actual gameplay of this. We did see some little tidbits of like a ship moving back and forth, but it's not enough. That was super early development days. It is a bit more structured now. It's got a bit more substance to it.
And on the top left is your player profile and character data. On the right-hand side, you have a global fleet management system. And down in the lower left is your action hub, so you can perform these functions in-game. We'll take another look here just from a different angle.
Now I wonder, let's try and name these ships, or maybe I'm going to get in trouble with some members, right? I can see on a Mick, and I can see one of my favorite ship. My favorite ship, guys. The Rainbow Ohm. The Rainbow Ohm.
And one more look here. This is of
the Amboy, the Calico, the Calico Hero. No. The Guardian. This is the Guardian, guys. You're going to get me. You're going to get me. Crap. I should really stay away from the names, shouldn't I? Should. So yeah, this is what it is, right? You can see, or like right now, you can see it's still in development, right? But we can see this is a tier 0 space port. This is a tier 0 structure. You can see the Armway, as well as the Calico, firing different types of beams to the different ships. This is a yellow beam, this is an orange beam, and that seems like a whitish beam going over there from the Calico, from the Amboy. So, and we do know there's already different types of kind of damage you can do. And they want to try and balance all of this. This will take so much time for them to develop. But they need to hurry up now, I think, because they don't have much time. At the moment, they have 6 months of runway. And if they don't raise anything, they still have 6 months. They have to deliver something. I think they'll raise something. I think they will.
One of the star bases that are being crafted. And once again, you are leveling these up through the contribution of resources on a global level. And we'll take one more look of just the tier 0 baseline star base that is under construction.
Tier 0. Looks good. Now, of course, you're going to go from a tier 0 to tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. And it takes time, and it takes resources. And every time it probably gets compounded. And some of these items will not be in your space station. It will not be in your area. You have to venture out and go and you have to take on risk to go and get that and come back and upgrade. Of course, this is where people extract value, right? You can get in a group yourself, go out, collect your resources, come back to the station, or you can go out, risk your ships, and collect the resources and sell them on the open market for someone else to come and buy and upgrade their own space station, right? We don't know if people will own their own space stations or DAX will own their own space stations, but so far, it seems like just the factions will own the space stations, and you'll be helping to upgrade them. So if you help to upgrade them, if you put resources in, you might get some Atlas in return.
So, one of the reasons we call this golden era is because it unlocks the next generation of game economics across the Star Atlas ecosystem. And again, I'm not going to be spending a ton of time talking about the economy today, although I do think that this is one of those categories in Web3 games where there's largely deficient effort put into economic architecture and design, structuring sustainable economics that can persist into the future. On the other hand, in our case, we put significant resources into this economic architecting. Within our economy department, we've created 3 sub-departments that consist of game economy, wherein we focus on balance between gameplay mechanics, in the token economy or tokenomics, and this is where we look at any time a cryptocurrency intersects with any of the gameplay itself. And then finally on the MetaVerse economy. And this is really an emerging field of research. And we think through what the implications are for participation.
So, I'm going to stop it there. Sorry, we'll continue. But I want to touch base on these three different types of economies that they're talking about. The first thing is the game economy itself, right? So they came out and they said they have over 30 levers for them to pull, for them to try and influence the amount, the game economy itself. Like how many resources you're able to mine, possibly what's the range of resources you'll get when you go and do the same task. And sometimes it'll be larger, sometimes it'll be smaller, right? There is some kind of RNG built in. They're saying like they'll be able to, the quests they give you should be smaller or larger based on how many people are in the faction, based on how many people are coming to take this quest. And of course, the reward will be much larger when you take on way more risk and you risk your ship, okay? Second is the token economy. The token economy is the lifeblood of the Star Atlas universe due to its ability to connect Web 2.0 game economics to Web 3.0 in the form of decentralized governance and digital wealth creation. So he's talking about Atlas and Polis at the moment, right? We know so far people can go and, not so far, you can later on hopefully go and create a proposal in Polis, for the Polis DAO, so that you can pass a law if you want to. Increase the tax, decrease the tax. Sanction someone's company, not sanction, or give bonuses to people. This is the kind of thing we can do. Metaverse economy. Linkages between this digital cyberspace and our modern world become symbiotic in the manifestation of decentralized metaverse economy. Now, this is the part where it starts getting really, really big, right? This is where it gets more than just the game. Now, Automata, behind the scenes, they are a weed company. They want to come into Star Atlas and sell their products, sell their produce in the Star Atlas metaverse, and it just gets shipped to you. This can happen to any other thing. Think of it like an Amazon, right? Everyone has established their own websites, their own businesses, and you just plug it into Star Atlas. So people can ride a ship from A to B, and they might have to pay for transport personnel to get there, buy the ticket from Ticketmaster, hopefully not from another ticketing service. See a concert that's a Web 2.0 person, like an actual songwriter or an actual artist who comes in and into Star Atlas and makes a song, and you can go and visit that song. You can go and experience that song, right? That's the kind of stuff we're seeing. This is where all the Web 2.0 stuff actually comes into Star Atlas. But once again, this is like way further down the line.
Society in these virtual worlds going on into the future. And if you've read through any of our quarterly State of the Economy reports, we're literally defining what it means today to be a citizen in one of these worlds. But with all that said,
all right, my friends, I'll leave it there for a little bit. Let's go ahead and actually read. Let's look at the roadmap. Have they updated it? No, they haven't. The roadmap at some point was a really big topic in Star Atlas, right? Everyone was like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, we don't know. Give us a roadmap so we can see. Now, this is the Notion site. This is the official Star Atlas roadmap. And you can see it's still named Scream, and it hasn't really been updated much. They have had some Medium articles coming out. You can see the one before this was on the 10th, last month. The 10th month, 7th of last month. And this one doesn't have quite a date, but you can see Scream release standalone minigame releases that allow for players to have meaningful progression with ships and to work together within their faction to achieve shared goals. Immersive 3D graphics and closed-loop gameplay. Now, I really want to shout out Kriggs from the Hologram, which is a kind of a independent news source within Star Atlas. They're very good. Very, very good. They did an article about the best ships for Star Atlas Golden Era for Sage. Let's go through it a little bit, shall we? So, currently, what are the best ships for you to buy? And not financial advice, of course. They say the best ships to buy are the ones that fit your playstyle or your budget. Now, I wanted to be in the transport / mining / non-fighting roles. And so far, I know that those ships are really rare when you consider the total amount of actual ships in circulation. Like 60-something% of them are actually fighters, right? So a lot of people are geared towards that fighting route. Right now, and they're saying the second thing is buy any ships that return the most APY from the faction fleet minigame. That was score. That's what we had before. And when we go to Sage, we won't know what the actual emissions are. Like we've had indications, but once again, it can all change. So Sage basics. Let's cover some basics that they say. Sage will be a real-time strategy game. Players will compete for territorial control against other factions, and fleet firepower will be an important metric in combat. And combat is how you're going to get your territorial control. So if fleet firepower is important, then you'll need lots of fighters in your fleet, right? If you won't be doing any of the other tasks, if they have programmed them in to give you any kind of reward. So of course, there are some fighters that you really should consider getting if you're interested in Sage. And there's a small alpha drop here, which I thought we should consider. Courtesy of Chipto. Chipto is one of the leading game developers. And he said, rarity doesn't matter for Sage. The ship rarity doesn't matter. Let's read what he said. Correct. VWAP is what is used for score emissions. Now, that's the volume-weighted average price of all the ships. That's for score. We're going to go into Sage. GAO sales, VWAP is calculated based on make, class, spec, configuration, and rarity. Sage performance formulas don't take VWAP directly as an input. I'll read that again. Sage doesn't take VWAP as an input. Sage doesn't care how expensive your ship is. It doesn't care. But do factor in the make, the class, the specs, and the configuration explicitly. So it depends on what the ship is, not how rare it is. So if you see a rare ship out there, it doesn't mean you should go and buy it. If you want to play Squall, if you want to play Sage, you should buy a ship that, one, suits your playstyle, and two, a ship that has really good stats. Now, they do outline some best firepower ships for their sizes. In the extra small size is a PSX4. In the extra small is an X5. In the small size is the Earp. In the medium size is a Thimble Mamba, as well as a PSF4. And then in the large size, you have the Ogrica Thripid. Capital size is the C9 and the Ballad. And of course, in the commander class, you have the tank ship. Now, I think someone's only bought one tank ship so far. All right, my guys. I want to leave you with small pictures of what we saw Scream to look like before. Now, we have, I think, and I'm not sure, I think after one of the town halls somewhere, there was a video that was being screen shared by someone from the team about Scream or Sage, right? And they should really rename this. It's no longer Scream. It's called Sage. A video that showed some Sage gameplay. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going off these pictures. Now, these are older pictures. Now, they're probably out of date, but I go off the information that I have. And of course, this is like the home screen when you first log in. Similar to the Fleet Viewer, you log in, you play, you connect with your wallet, and you have your 24/7 gameplay window over there. So that's initially what it looks like. And it looks like a Toothless Spirit or some kind of Toothless ship. Very weird. And then we also have the settings menu where you can go high graphics, master volume, special effects, and your usual music volume. And we have a PS kind of inside of a PS ship. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. That's all I have for Sage at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing Sage. I'm looking forward to playing Sage. And I'm looking forward to the team releasing Sage so that we can onboard new players. We can have more content. People could come and play and experience their ships. That's what's really going to get people going. And lastly, I just wanted to say, look how nice these ships look. Look how nice they look. PSX4. And my Calico Medtech. I'm going to rescue a few people here. I'm going to use this to rescue a lot of people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for now. I will see you next time.